Hey everybody, it's zjayfi here. I just wanted to do a quick video on some builds. The hybrid I had pretty much written off as dead, as well as solo play I thought was pretty much extinct with this new update of Gear 2.0. But I'm finding some interesting things as I'm going about this, and I wanted to do a really good build for solo play because a lot of people have been talking about, oh, they're having a really hard time passing heroic missions solo. And yeah, it's not like it used to be where before they adjusted the scaling, you used to be able to just blast your way through them. I think I posted a video of myself clearing heroic Roosevelt Island solo in, less than 20 minutes. That was before they adjusted the scaling. Now that they've adjusted the scaling, solo is pretty much back to how it was before Gear 2.0 came out and the whole expansion came out. So what I wanted to do was figure out a build that could actually run a heroic mission solo now in the new update. Now, heroic missions have always been extremely difficult solo. Even back in the Gear 1.0 days, yes, you could make a one-man army build. They were still very hard, though. I have a couple videos on my channel of me doing the rooftop of Grand Washington Hotel solo, and I think one other one solo, but they are difficult, believe me, and things have to go right for you sometimes, and at some point you're going to be up against it, and you're either just going to have to get lucky, or you're going to have to, figure out some strategy to keep you alive, whether it's just run back or run and hide, or just pray you can get that armor kit on in time before that grenade gets to you and explodes you. But nevertheless, a good build is the first step towards how you're going to clear a heroic mission solo. So I came up with this one. I did manage to clear a heroic mission solo, but only an easier one. I did DCD and Bank and was able to clear them. I attempted 2 strongholds. I was able to get really deep in one before I got wiped. And I also attempted invaded Federal Bunker, which I was able to get all the way to the very end before I finally did wipe. So I'm going to show you guys this build real quick, and then I'll slap up a couple of videos, mostly just to show you guys how to play it. It's not to show off like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm soloing heroics by myself. Soloing heroics is really hard, and if I get through one, I'm lucky. And it might take, 3 hours of wiping before you get that lucky run where just everything goes your way and it works. But it can be done. It is possible. The easier ones to do are DCD, Jefferson, the starting missions in the game, the lower ranked missions in the game. Harder ones to do are obviously strongholds. All the ones in New York are exceptionally difficult. And the late game missions like Potomac and Fed Bunker are all difficult to do solo. So anyway, without further ado, here's the theory behind this build and why I came up with what I came up with. It will start with the specialization, and actually let me go show you how the tree is developed. I didn't even think about that. I always stand there against the wall because it's a very nice backdrop that you can clearly see everything on the heads-up display. But obviously this is all fully developed. We've got rifle damage and SMG damage. I've also got LMG damage, but you don't need that. That's just for another build that I run with this. Okay, so you're going to want skill damage, not skill healing. I think those are really the only option. That's the only option you have. So just make sure you've got this one activated, and make sure you've got SMG and rifle damage, and then you're good to go. I'll go back here by my little backdrop. So you're going to want to use a classic M1A or a Baker's Dozen. I have Lucky Shot on this one. You could also use Sadist. If you have one with Sadist on it, would be outstanding. I don't know where I got this one. This is a pretty good one. I wish I could have put 15% rifle damage as well as Lucky Shot, but I really like Lucky Shot because I don't have to worry about reloading all the time. I just spam at people. So yeah, We've only got 3 reds, but I'm still managing to achieve 432k. I've still got glass cannon, and I'll have wicked constantly procced, so I will be doing a pretty good amount of damage, and you guys will see in the footage. For the secondary, I've got Emmeline's Guard, and the reason behind this is for perfect preservation. I get 12% armor on kill. Now, I get that 12% armor whether I kill them with the SMG or not. If I kill somebody with these 2 skills, I also get the 12%. So anytime you're getting low on ammo, you see somebody's about to bleed to death, you can just switch to this while you're in cover, and bam, that's 12%. That's your primary healing method right there. Other than that, you'll just have armor kits, but you'll find that survivability is not a huge problem unless you're in a really tough room where you're facing tanks or dogs. That can be very tricky because they've got those one-shot sniper dogs. Also, there are some one-shot gold bar snipers that can wipe your run, and that's just part of running heroic. I mean, it can happen. You can get wiped, you can get blindsided, and just not even know what happened. For the sidearm, doesn't really matter, but I've got the backup boomstick in there just because it's got the 16% shotgun damage rather than all the rest have 15. So we've got the exotic coyotes mask in there. This is the only piece that has crit hit chance, crit hit damage on it. The main reason for this, you'll see when I show you the stats. This one works perfect. So if I'm close range and I need to smoke somebody, I've got extra chance with the SMG. If I'm at long range, I've got extra, if I'm at long range, I've got extra damage with the SMG. If I'm at short range, I've got extra chance with the SMG. And then at medium range, you get a little mixture of both. So that's our only all red piece that we have in this. So that's our only source of crits and crit hits. We've got 20.3% crit hit chance. Keep in mind that anybody over 25 yards, which I will if I'm using the rifle, is going to have 45 plus crit hit chance. So you will actually be getting a lot more crits than you think that you will. And then with the with the Emmeline's Guard, we'll have 29.8% with 65, but keep in mind you're going to be getting 25% more crit hit chance because they're close to you, or crit hit damage because they're close to you. So you'll be getting closer to 90% crit hit damage when you're shooting at somebody closer than 15 yards. So the second piece is Gila Guard. I haven't decided what to roll on this yet. I could max out one of those skills. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. It's probably going to end up being armor. Just because that's what this piece is all about. I got armor on kill on there, so you do get a little bit of armor in addition to your 12% from perfect preservation. We've got glass cannon. Glass cannon qualifies for your stinger hive and your seeker mines also, and we've got Gila Guard for 5% total armor. Got 1% armor regeneration with the 2 pieces of golden gear. We've also got 10% status effects. That's going to go towards the Stinger Hive, and 10.9% skill haste, so they'll come back faster. Second piece of golden gear is a perfectly wicked backpack, so every time somebody gets hit with the Stinger Hive, I'll have 18% weapon damage for 27 seconds. It's got skill damage, status effects, and skill haste, and a skill tier. We'll have skill tier 2 though, since we're running technician, so all my skills will be skill tier 2. Second damage piece is SMG to buff up this, the Emmeline's Guard. We've also got 15% status effects since it's a firm handshake set of Sokolov gloves, and we've got 10% skill damage on there, and then damage to target out of cover with the rifle damage, and 10% skill damage on here. So grand total, we're running 3 reds, 2 blues, and 2 yellows. So we have skill tier 2, 20% damage, range, 140% health, and then we have 20% damage and plus 2 cluster mines. They only hit for about 1.5 million, but for the red bars and purple bars, it probably won't kill them, to be honest, but it'll shave enough of their health off that you can finish them off with the rifle or the SMG, depending on where they are. The other advantage to this is that it puts them on the run. And so if you're backed up into a corner and they're pushing you hard, if you just drop this on the floor right at your feet, all of a sudden the momentum of combat changes. And now you have about 10 or 15 seconds to figure out what your next move is and how you can reverse the tables on them. So that's one of the main advantages to Seeker Mines, is that it panics the enemies, as does the Seeker Hive. You can drop that directly at your feet if you have to. If somebody's pushing you, you can't finish them with the SMG quickly enough, you can just drop whatever skill is available at your feet, and it will instantly cause panic. So anyway, the stats. This is a pretty well balanced build. It's not perfectly, I should say. I'm still gonna tweak it and work on it. But we have moderate amounts of crit hit chance, crit hit damage. Keep in mind those stats are better depending on how close or far away you are with the Coyote's mask. 45.8% all weapons, plus our rifle damage bonus and our submachine gun damage bonus. Perfectly wicked, glass cannon, all this stuff's pretty normal. That's actually some pretty decent armor regeneration. If you sit there and cover, it takes about 100 seconds to get all your armor back, but even still, that's better than nothing. Because you've got that extra 1%, which adds up even, which is, you know, better than wearing blue attributes all over your, because those blue attributes don't do shit for you. You're so much better off just having this stuff and then having your 1% armor regeneration from the brand set. So it does take a long time to get it all back, but anyway. That's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to end this video with some clips of me playing with it. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Soloing heroics is not the most fun way to play, because you can't be hyper aggressive. You have to be extraordinarily cautious. But I'm going to show you guys some clips of how to use this build, and I hope you enjoy it. So if you're interested in doing some solo play, this is definitely a way to go. If you guys come up with anything better than this one, or just variations, obviously there's tons of options. You could do it any particular way, but I think the 3 red, 2 blue, 2 yellow is definitely the way to go. And I would highly recommend that if you have some way of getting healing without putting it on your pieces. So some talent like preservation, or I don't know, even if you can work your gear pieces to have, I think you get armor regeneration on some other brand too. I can't recall what it is, but I'd recommend that you find your healing some other way and focus everything on your skills and your weapon damage, with the exception of your 2 blue armor attributes. Alright, so enjoy. I'm going to show you guys some clips of me playing it, and have a good night.